Hello, UBK Bosley Video Diary. It's Wednesday the 24th of April. I'm John Bosley. Haven't done the diaries for a little while because things have been furtherly made horrific by my own actions. Okay, just to start from the scratch. I came here in 2018. I bought a house. I've always wanted to live in Exeter because I fell in love with Exeter when I came here many years ago. I'm ex-forces, but I wasn't anything special. I was a reasonable soldier, but I let myself down because I was undisciplined, because I was a dysfunctional young man who became somewhat dysfunctional, although I cloaked it quite well and I had a profession. I got away with a lot insofar as, I was technically deficient, really. I couldn't, I didn't pick things up as easy as others, but I made up for it in other ways, potentially, or people just didn't get rid of me. I managed to work on projects all over the world that were quite interesting, and I had a position of some seniority. The outcomes now, I don't know how this is going to end up. On the one hand, maybe I did need help. I thought I could deal with the things that I was going to have to deal with here myself. My family, I'm proud of my brothers. I do love my brothers, even despite everything that's passed between us. But we weren't really raised together due to circumstances. We just share the same DNA, and I regret that there's been the fallouts there has been. And it'd be sad to think that we all depart this place on these terms. I apologise to anybody I've offended. But I've been offended over the years by various actions by you guys as well. So I shouldn't have really highlighted it again to Brian because it's gone. But these, we all suffered because of what happened. I know you guys did. I know you did. That's why I couldn't reach out to you when I wanted to be taken away from where I was, which was pretty shit, in ways you can't believe. Brian, you stayed now and again. David and Cole, you did, and but it was fucking hell. It was like a kaleidoscope life. You never knew what was going to happen. I had to deal with it on my own. There wasn't anybody else. Even if social services got alerted, which I think they did once or twice, or they may have done. I'm sure somebody spoke to me about something, and then we moved again. So, Mum's death affected me in a lot of different ways. Guilt I felt for being such a twat when I was a kid, but there must have been a reason for that, and I know that you guys suffered a lot. I came here to try and work things out. I knew I was going to go through an acrimonious divorce. I didn't realise how bad it was going to be, because I wasn't really at the races for various reasons, but I was busy working, just making sure I didn't fucking retire in poverty, return to poverty, and not worrying about where your next meal's coming from. It was that bad at times. I knew my ex-wife didn't have any real feelings for me, and I was just a vehicle, but I'd accepted that. I had low self-esteem for reasons which anybody that knows anything about my background, and a lot of you guys are the same. We don't have great upbringings, a lot of us. We deal with it in our own way. My demeanour has protected me. It's sufficiently fooled people. I'm not a hard man, I never wanted to be. I've done jobs that, I don't know how, I don't. Yes, I've done different security work and things like that. I'm 5'9", I'm not a big bloke. There's other guys that have done similar things that are not big, but I'm not a hard nut. I'll stand my ground if I have to. Many of you would, I would like to think. I didn't want this fight. And I'm sure Paul English didn't want this fight. He paid a price for it. I think, if it didn't contribute to his early demise, or, his relatively early demise, then it didn't help. That's for sure. And dealing with these people, you just think you're dealing with people who implement a scheme that you just want to make sure it's right, make sure it's safe for everyone, even the skateboarders in this case. There wasn't no fucking issue with the skateboarders. But you get hangers on, you get ASB, you get issues. And how can you leave the whole complex in a great big, huge car park, which lads are going to use as a revy fucking joyridey place for 3 years? God, the amount of police time that must have been wasted, and just for not locking up the gates. And yet they were locked up during COVID because you had to. But you didn't have to prevent, you know, loads and loads and loads of homes of all different types being disturbed into the early hours by kids having a bit of fun. You can understand it. But it's a high price to pay for a lot of people. If you didn't expect that, you know, we live in a 24-hour society now. You know, people are looking for things at 2 in the morning and 1 in the morning or whatever. And if a skate park is available or whatever, or a skid pan for your car to impress your mates, you're going to do it. I just don't get it all. It did affect me badly because I was dealing with the upcoming anniversary of my mum's death, and the manner of her death does trouble me. Of course it would. I didn't know anybody at school or any other people growing up that, you know, his mum had been fucking vaporised in a car bomb. I wanted to know why. I didn't have the allegiance to the parachute regiment because I didn't join the parachute regiment. I've no disrespect for them at all, but you know, they had a part to play in what happened, and I'm at odds with that. At the same time, you know, I was raised amongst them. I know their ethos, and their ethos was beneficial to me when I was younger. You know, keep going at all costs. I wish I hadn't. I had to go through this on my own. I've done the best I could. I thought I'd squared away the rough edges and calm myself down and learn how to. You can't be a site manager all over the world dealing with, you know, multinational people and be hot-headed and quick to temper. You just can't. Your life would be absolute purgatory. And the only place my life was okay was work. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Home life wasn't great, but fortunately I was spared it because I'd stay in a hotel in London. So, you know, there's some very, very odd things have gone on here. You know, I don't feel safe now because the police have demonstrated, but on the basis of whatever information they've been given about me, which I would suggest they would check or at least speak to me. I've got no truck with anybody except noise, disturbance and fucking having to defend myself. I don't want to do any of it or have any of it. I just want to live quietly with my dog, come and go from the house that I'm now imprisoned in because I can't do anything. I've got a driving licence. I'm not likely to get it back for the near future that I can see. It just seems I'm boxed in. It just delays things. I mean, whether or not I'm destined to survive this is another matter. Everything bar nothing that I claim in these videos is a matter of record. I don't make any claims that, you know, that are not well founded, but I didn't want to be doing this anyway. The book was only about a cathartic exercise in trying to make some sort of sense of the past. And you know, it's not just me that suffered. I've been the youngest brother watching my brothers try and fucking claw through life. You know, it's been fucking painful. To my brothers, whatever's happened, even Carl, and I know what Carl was doing. Every motivation in any book is there. Money, jealousy. I knew he hated me. He always did. I think it's standard, you know, the youngest hates the next youngest because you take all the attention away from whatever. I get that. And he was fucking horrible to me all his life, really. But, you know, he's still your brother. I had no fucking idea what was going on. And every signpost was there, everything clear as the nose on your face. But whether or not I survive this now is another matter. I don't have a driving licence. I'll get one back. I'm shit scared when I go out of the house because if I cough without due care and attention, I'm going to prison. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to be separated from my dog, and they obviously know that, and that's what they're going to do. That's what my wife was trying to do. And before I ejected her, because I had no choice, I couldn't live like that. I couldn't do any more than move into the summer house because she was just pissed the whole time. And I think by the time I'd gone into the summer house, I'd given up drinking. I'd stopped. I was teetotal, which meant I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't eating anything that was being prepared by anyone else. I was just eating muesli and fruit, energy drinks, to my shame, but my faculties came back with aplomb, and you know, things started falling into place, and it was painful. It was really hard. You know, you know that you're okay with the fact that someone doesn't really care about you, but to know that they're trying to, they might be potentially trying to recover the money they've been disinherited from through you, me, ending things at my own volition due to just the stress of the life that I'd had with her. And all I did was pay for everything and get quite a lot of abuse, which I just accepted as part and parcel of the price you pay for having a bit of company, I suppose. I don't know. But she would tell everybody that I was all sorts of things. I don't suppose she told people about the butcher's knife to the stomach, because I stayed out one night when she moaned at me for fucking, you know, don't do anything. Well, you know, what do you want me to do? I go on golf weekends? I don't do anything because I'm knackered. I work hard. What do you want to do? Well, you know, fucking just sit there and you're working and all that. I ended up with a knife in my stomach. It is. I don't want to die this way. You know, I just wanted to have a couple of years with my dog, that was all. I dreamt about this when I was a kid, funny enough, when things were bad. Nearly got it. But I was out there with a bushcart thing, cutting the dangly, hedgy bits that hang over the path and could catch someone whizzing past. You know, who catches him in their fucking face, you could bring him off the bike or the scooter or the skateboard or whatever. I was fucking minding my own business. Roxy was up and down. I was throwing a thing in the front garden for her when I was up and down. Kid went past, nearly collided. He was only a little bit away. I just said something like, "Oh, let us know you're there," or "ding your bell," or whatever. I think he gestured. Nothing. It wasn't major. And what I didn't know was he was only having a laugh. He was a young man, not a kid. But I was halfway up the drive when he went past on his bike, and he nicked the broom and swore at me or called me something and rode off. I had the bush cutty thing in my hand. I was cutting bushy things. I walk around with it because I don't have to start a chainsaw or get anything out or get cables out. If there's something that's hanging down that shouldn't be, it doesn't look right, or I chop it off. And that's what I do out the front. You know, it doesn't spoil my view, but I don't want somebody catching their face on a long dangly thorn thing. And the kid was only having a laugh. I get that, but I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm scared when I go out there anyway. I'm terrified. You know, my vast majority of people are lovely, they really are, but I can't handle the ones that aren't. Anyway, I think it's, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end up. It's just, I'm not used to having anything out of my hands, and I'm not convinced that it's in my interests. I'm not political. I didn't want to fucking, you know, I just don't understand why you would waste so much effort for not just doing something properly and being transparent. I'm affected by it. I've taken ownership of it insofar as, okay, my background means that noise triggers fight or flight in me, and that's a stress, that's a strain, but at least I understand it. I understand that I'm physically or whatever, or emotionally overreacting to, you know, harmless noise. I have to understand that it's harmless noise now. It might be irritating, but it's harmless. It doesn't precipitate anything other than people doing what they're doing over there. The joyriding thing, I noticed it, but it doesn't really resonate. It doesn't really get under my crawl, whatever you call it, because it's not an invasive noise. It's in the background, screechy, but it's not clanky, bang. You know, it's. I ask for help so many times in so many ways. When you haven't got somebody living with you that can see you deteriorating, see that it's not enough that you live in an outhouse in the back garden, and you've got cameras everywhere and security everywhere. But it doesn't. What does it mean? Police can just disregard it. Oh well, it was, you can't hear what he said. What Mr. Bosley said. It just. I feel like I'm under siege. If you were in my situation, if you were me, without my loony or whatever, and you lived on your own and you had this thing foisted upon you and you're right on top of it, and there are occasionally issues, you would be concerned. If on top of which you had no credibility with the police or the authorities at all, so if anything does happen, you're unlikely to be believed, or you're likely to be punished, as has happened. It amounts, and when you can't go out and divert this with work because I don't want my dog stolen. People have witnessed my ex-wife take the dog away, or attempt to, before they shut the gates and prevented her from doing it, when I allowed her to come and pick up some stuff that she had remained here, despite the circumstances under which she left. She'd rehearsed that thing the night she left. She used to barricade herself in the bedroom, in the main room in the house with Roxy, so that I'd have to go in there and get her. And she'd done it for time after time. Little stressy thing to help you sleep at night. But I wouldn't go to sleep unless I had Roxy in the cabin with me, so I knew where she was when I woke up in the morning. A few days previous, my oldest brother had videoed, I'd asked him to video what had happened, because she did it again. I called Roxy in and she was barricaded in the front room. It's fucking ridiculous. And she knew I wouldn't go to bed without Roxy. I'm not going to go to bed and think that Roxy's not going to be around when I get up in the morning. And I held the video up, pushed the stuff away from the door, which didn't need to be there because there's a lock on it. And she was on the phone to the police already, and put the phone down immediately. She saw me videoing, saw that Brian was on the other end of the phone line. This was a couple of years, oh well, a few years ago now, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So I was rehearsed. I knew that she was going to go next door and say that I tried to do this or strangle her or whatever, to alienate me from my neighbours, who I did get on with previously to that. And they're lovely people. They are still lovely people, but they think I'm fucking trying to strangle my wife. If I wanted to strangle her, she'd be strangled. If I wanted to kick her out, I'd kick her out. That's what I did. I kicked her out. I couldn't take it anymore. Men have got no rights anymore. I can't help the way I look. I can't help the demeanour I've had to have. Because if I didn't have this fucking demeanour, I was going to say I wouldn't be in this shit, but I didn't want this fucking war. I didn't see it coming. Not on top of everything else. I couldn't deal with it. In a way that it was just, they were adversarial and not transparent. Paul English knew that as well. Everybody else was just getting on with their lives and not aware of what was going on. I don't know why it was going on like this. It makes no sense. But I'm fucking price I've paid. My life's over. I think I'm just going through the motions, really. But you know, they'll get me. I've obviously inadvertently been trying to get peace. I've twanged a few nerves by the looks of it. I'm in pain the whole time, physically. I'm getting various twinges and things that are not really mending as good as they should. And I can't survive financially like this. it's not viable, which I think is the intention. Anyway, thanks if you watched it. God's much love to you. God's love to you, whoever that you purport that to be. Much love. Thank you. Bye bye.